Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Rebranding American Culture Podcast, the show where we take people who typically disagree with each other and let them fully rationalize their opinions in the public square and hash out the details. My name is Korin, a conservative, and I have my co-host Prince, who is a moderate/unpolitical person. Hope you guys enjoy the show. Today's episode is called "The Expansion of Black Culture." I would like to welcome our guest to the stand. If he would like to, what's the word?
Introduce yourself.
Introduce himself. There we go.
All right, what's up, everybody? Derek Pollard here. I don't know what type of intro I should give. Really, I'm
Just
in
like
Detroit.
your name, what you do.
Yeah, I go to Wayne State. I am a singer and conductor, and I know a lot about African American history. So this should be interesting. I'm also thankful for the bros here inviting me. Appreciate it.
Good to see you. All right. So first topic. This one's a funny one. It's like, are you tired of like the people of color and just nonsense? Like, do you like just like every couple of years, it's like we're just trying to refresh. Like, what term is it okay to call black people? Do you think we should just like quit with the nonsense and just like, okay, we're black, we can stop, we're done, we don't have to go back and forth with this anymore?
Yeah. I don't see why some people feel the need to say that we shouldn't call ourselves black. I think that's kind of contradictive considering that's your history, that's your roots. I mean, we come from slaves, literally. And the people that deny it is kind of it's interesting to me. It really is, you know. And it's
Yeah,
primarily the mixed people at times, you know.
you think so?
At times, I do think so.
Just through shots of
Cause
me.
I,
Say the only mix one in the podcast.
nah, cause I mean, you can be a mixed breed that um fully just doesn't recognize their blackness, or you could be like Logic and make whole songs and make even an album about how black you are, although you're only half that. So yeah,
Because honestly, to me, people of color is just a different way to say color people.
yeah. I
Yeah.
don't call myself a person of color. I'm black. Simple.
It's like, listen, I'm black, straight up.
Either
Just
you
don't
like
call
it
me
or
a
you don't.
Negro and we good.
Yeah. Just don't call
I'd
me the
rather
N.
you call me the N word than a Negro.
I
You did that
I
on
don't
purpose.
see, and here's the thing about the N word, right? You
Like,
know,
don't nobody use Negro in like modern context.
not at all.
But you did it on purpose.
Not at all. But the N word, for me at least, is a little bit touchy. You know, I know that certain white people have said it in the past. Eminem, Justin Bieber, just to
Justin
name.
Bieber said it?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
this was like when he was like young, young. It was a
Oh,
video out. Yeah,
I don't
and
blame you. We all did stupid things when we were young.
for me, I think I'm with the majority that only think that we should be allowed, excuse me, to say the word. You know, I really feel like if any other race says it, because like I live in Southwest Detroit. Southwest
Yeah.
Detroit is full of the Spanish.
Oh,
I go to a barber shop over on Michigan Avenue. That's
don't air
ran
yourself out.
that's ran fully by Spanish people,
I
and they
didn't know
say
you
the N
guys had
word.
a large Spanish community.
Yeah, yeah, I love it over here. But they have a bunch of barbers, primarily Spanish, saying nothing but the N word over here. And I look at them crazy and side eye like, okay, but I
Oh,
don't say nothing though because technically it's like I give them a pass because it's only me, right?
I give him a
You
pass
know
because I wanted to mess my hair up.
that too, definitely, you know. But that's
Yeah,
just me.
that's a good second topic. Like, how do you feel about the N word? Like, for me, it's like I don't really care. Like, I understand, like, for some people, like how they feel about it, like the emotionally charged history. But for me, I think the only way to move forward is to be like, listen, this is a word. It has no power over me. Like a lot of people, when you ask them, like if someone said the N word and you didn't approve them saying it, how would you react? And a lot of people would have said they'll act violently. And like the thing is, if someone like truly says the N word to be derogatory or to be hateful, for you to act in a violent way only proceeds to continue their negative notion towards people of our color. So I
Right.
feel like in order for us to move past like things like this and to stop giving people who are having a negative feeling towards black people power, because the thing is, if the people who disenfranchise you become disenfranchised, well, guess what? They don't have any more power now because of everything they do. If we do it, like especially things that are like almost non-consequential, like words, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. So if we continue to let this word hold power over us, well, we'll never be able to continue to grow as a people. So like I understand people who don't want to hear it. Like just because I say I don't care, don't go flying it. But that leads
Yeah.
to like another segment. Like if you could take the N word out of your
Okay, now
vocabulary,
before
which
you continue,
yeah.
I have a question here now. Let's see. Me personally, I couldn't care less who uses the N word towards me.
Yeah. And for me, it's like the A is I don't mind. It's the
Oh
ER
yeah, there's a
because
difference.
yeah, there's a major difference there. And even
Now,
with the A, it's still kind of touchy for
'Cause
me.
for
now
me, it's like with
the
the A, like we've
Korin.
like rebranded it to like be like more of like a positive thing, and then like we're like dominant in like the entertainment industry and things like that. So people of all different colors are hearing this word be used commonplace everywhere in media, on TV. Like on TV, a lot of the times the N word is not blurred, and it's just like if once this becomes part of the mainstream, as we because I remember back when, not I don't remember, but I remember people be like, I wish like black music was more mainstream, that we weren't like taken as extreme. But it's like once this like comes forward into the mainstream, you gotta kinda expect that more people are gonna use this word.
Okay, how do you now? Let's see. If it's wrong for someone who's not black to use the word, whether it be A or ER, why do you use it, or why do like any of us use it? If it was made to be derogatory towards us, why incorporate that word into our vocabulary?
Well, here's the thing. We don't use the ER version as like real talk. We don't use it. Like there's a distinct difference between the ER and the A. The
Yeah,
ER is
that's the
more
main thing. People say the
derogatory.
ER towards me because like the ER, you're purposely doing it. If you say
Right.
the A, well then we've like incorporated that into mainstream society. I don't think we should be that wrapped up in it.
Right.
Like still,
Now,
I don't, like you should like it all about how you say it. You know?
right. Now I wanted to be very clear. I am not condoning the use of either,
Yeah,
right, as far as any other um race or ethnicity goes. But for us in particular, you know, to those of us that don't use it, I commend you guys. You know, and a lot of times they don't use it out of just respect and the known history. But for some of us, like I'll put myself out on the spot, like myself and many others, we use it, just like slang, regular slang for the
yeah.
culture and everything.
African American vernacular.
Yeah.
I think that's the word now that we're going. But yeah, that leads on to the side topic. Like, if you could take it out of your vocabulary, would you, and why?
Yeah, because I don't even use it that much. It really, if I was to just flat out take it out of my vocabulary that I use on a day-to-day basis, I wouldn't have a problem with it at all.
Yeah,
It's not that big of a deal to me to where I'm like, oh my God, I can't say the N word. Really? Like
you
this
had
is a
white skin for a day.
yeah, like this is a dark day. All right. No, I'm not gonna react like
I know a lot of
that.
people could not make it.
A lot of people could not, very much so. But
What about you?
I'd be fine without using it because still, um, I only use it out of anger. Really, now most times. Right now,
Jesus.
now I really only use it out of anger. So, but not the ER,
Yeah, it's
just the
like
A. But I don't. I've already
yeah.
tried. I'm already moving towards no longer using it, so it wouldn't really make a difference if I just couldn't use it. It just, it's just another day. Just move forward.
Yeah, for me, like I would because like I wouldn't. I know I wouldn't have used it if I wasn't raised around it. Because like when I was younger, I was all about like the King's English. I read books. I didn't watch TV. I didn't associate with a lot of people. So like I remember like when I was younger, I was called white. I was called white boy because like I only spoke the King's English, and it was just like as like a way to fit in, that's when I began using like slang and stuff like that. Like if I was like and, like my mom has been calling me an N word since day one. I was an N word when I was young. When I'm old, all my family they call me the M. But it was like I knew like if I wasn't like raised around it, I would have never used it.
Yeah.
I think in terms of just like as a society, we ain't gonna never reach a point where we just like you know what if you say the N word, whatever. It's
Yeah.
like it's not gonna become the next curse word. Like it's not gonna be like the new that or something like that where like we just don't care, it's just a word we say now. So I think
Yeah.
like if we're not gonna allow other people to say it, I think we should just let it go as well, like just like phase out of vocabulary because like from like an outsider looking in, it probably does look weird that like we calling like each other like this word that's been repurposed from something negative to something positive, but other people can't use it. Like I could see like from the outsider's perspective how that could be, how that could possibly be confusing, even though there is a history behind it. So I think like for me, it's just like I'm trying my best to phase it out, but it's been there for a little while, so it's gonna take me time. But I want to phase it out like completely. Like you will find gentleman. You ain't my whatever.
I feel it.
I think now we can do a good section. Let's see here. Let's step into like black music and history stuff like that. Like not black history, but like black music history, like how black music shapes like the culture and like the community today. Like how
Yeah.
would that be different compared to now?
Okay.
Take it away because I'm not that big into it. That's more of a you and Prince thing. Like I'm not
What
as
was
big
what was
into
it?
it as I. It was how does like how does like black music affect black culture and the community as well as like the overall state of just like I say we focus on like American culture in general. Like how has it
Oh,
changed compared to like today to now? Like how does it affect the black community?
Hmm.
well, that sounds like a me and the
Well,
King Von situation.
it, I wasn't, but I guess eventually we can go there. For me, how it impacts black culture, it if there's one thing that our culture in particular is known for, it's our music. You know, it can very well be said that um, music wouldn't be as popular as it is today if it wasn't for us and our artists and our culture and everything like that. You know, um,
I'd
in
say
some
like
case,
music would be like a different form because like you
yeah,
can see in like several genres how like things that might have originally been of like black creation
yeah,
like you can see how in certain genres like say electronic dance music like how when they
yeah,
do build ups and drops there's a trap snare involved that's like really tight and punchy
yeah,
compared to like a normal drum snare from an acoustic drum kit so you can see how tiny pieces have been taken and incorporated into newer music.
yeah, and you can see, and it may not be fully known, but our culture consists of more. Excuse me. Our culture consists of more genres of music than we actually think it does. You know, Of course, we have rap, we have R&B, we have jazz, we have gospel, we have reggae. Those are the five most
Do we
well known.
include things like reggae and dancehall? Because like I don't know if like we separated like between like African Americans like as black and then like African immigrants bringing that up.
Yeah, well, reggae is more along the lines of the culture. Dance hall is kind of like reggae mixed with techno in a way, I
But
believe.
doesn't like dancehall like has like influence for like I think like more Puerto Rican and stuff like that. I might
Yeah,
be I might be confused. Like don't call me out on. But I know
yeah,
like a lot of these things are just like really multicultural.
yeah. And so, like, many of us do not realize rock started with us.
Yeah, Chucky Berry. Like we don't like how
Yeah,
rock like we created rock and roll and then like
yeah,
as it got more popular, then rock was formed and hard rock
rock.
was formed.
What else?
We had
Classical. Classical music. We have roots in classical music.
did we? I've never heard of that before.
Beethoven is partly African. Remember that.
I thought I heard like that was false. I don't know. I like
Mm,
to like research it more, but like there was like a big like conspiracy going on. Like he was like super black, and I'm
yeah,
like, no. It's
yeah.
like
And even
well,
then, if we're not looking at classical, you look at the spiritual aspect of
Well,
things.
there are
When
there are a few black composers dealing with
yeah, there
classical
are.
music.
I'm not gonna.
yeah, yeah, like you look at, I know for me, considering that I've studied many of these guys, you look at composers like I'm thinking more modernly here, like
Yeah,
a Hall Johnson, a Moses Hogan, Stacey Gibbs, Undine Smith Moore, in that
Moses Hope.
realm.
What a name.
Yeah. I
That's
love
a
I love Moses. Yeah, God rest his soul.
oh he's dead.
Um
Oh dang.
yeah.
Knock on
And
wood.
for the older ones,
Yeah.
people like Francis Johnson, George Walker,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
William Grant.
definitely. You know. But
but yeah,
I
it's interesting seeing that. Like just seeing like how so many different cultures, like every like little part can be taken and influenced
yeah.
upon.
So and then even if you look at the modern aspect of things, with artists like Michael Jackson, who arguably is the
One of
most
the most
popular artist
right.
ever. You know, you look
King Pop,
at,
King Popular.
yeah, you look at Stevie Wonder, who, in my opinion, and I think Prince holds this too, is the greatest artist we've ever seen in the genre. Am I wrong about that, or
Nope, I
In,
stand with
in which
are we in
genre?
agreement?
I stand with you.
Yeah.
Because I would
Uh,
agree. Like he's been monumental
yeah,
and like
like,
influencing a lot of things, especially for younger artists growing up. Like what did they listen? They listened to Stevie Wonder in order to get their influence for their music.
yeah. And then you have somebody like a Marvin Gaye who, for lack of a better term, broke down so many social barriers with just one album.
Yeah,
And I'm talking about what's going on here. The way that impacted Black culture and America as a whole in the 70s. And it's still like really like showing,
reverberates today. Like
yeah,
people,
it's really showing its impact even now in 2020.
yeah, that's
It's
like the big
amazing to me.
thing that like music is universal. Like it's its own language. So
You know,
people being able to create things from it is always going to be part of the social, like the social atmosphere and how things change and how we create and how we move on forward.
yeah, and it's because of those three names and many others,
Yeah,
obviously, that we have some of the big, big stars in music today, like the Beyoncés, the Weekends, the Bruno Mars of the world. And
yeah.
in many
I ain't
cases,
heard
it's a
from
good
Bruno
thing.
Mars in a while. What is
Yeah.
he doing?
But while we have while we
He
have
got like
those
that big hate from like from that one song, and then he just sort of
now while we
faded.
have those from the past times, the soul, R&B, all of those artists. Then you have rap that's cut off. It's like in its own circle, its own little space.
Yeah,
Right, yeah. You know, especially with I would throw out who I feel are the three biggest rappers ever. Obviously Tupac,
Right.
yeah.
Nas, and then lastly, who I feel is the greatest, Jay-Z. You know, all of their influence, majority of it has been good, but not all of it.
And we're talking a lot about like older artists. Like that leads to like a top. Like, do you think the current state of like rap and stuff like that is destructive, like
Because
towards like the
the
black
problem
community?
with it now is just before with the Pac, the Nas, the Jay Z, Biggie, all of those, they had a like Jay Z specifically. Okay, so he his early music was not something I would say you would want to be influenced by, but as he got
Yeah,
older and like time went on, it
Like there
became
was
more
like
of
a
like
progression.
it became more mature, or like with a Tupac. Now some songs I wouldn't say yes, listen to it, like go and do this, like hit them up. No, I listen to it, right?
no,
I listen to it, but I wouldn't say go and like move forward
Oh
with that idea. But he has songs like
yeah.
"Baby's
Like I
Got a
listen,
Baby" or "Keep Your Head Up" or any of
yeah,
those. So before back then,
I
you had
feel
a
like
time where
there used to be a
you had a time
story
where
where like you saw a
they
progression.
was able to influence and have it be a good direction. Now,
Like it was moving forward. Like you saw like hit 'em up to now we're talking about things like single motherhood
now,
and stuff like that where Brenda's got a
now you
baby.
see
But I feel like now it's like like you stick in like that one like place, and if you try to like improve or like continue on that path, like you're shunned for it.
now you see
yeah,
you have the rappers, um, modern rappers who the influence they're giving isn't is just not in a good direction.
And of course, it's not all of them, but I'd say
They're
majority of
rapping and
the
going along and
mainstream.
speaking on the life that they lived. The words that they're spitting and releasing out isn't really
yeah,
it's not it's doing more harm than help.
yeah. And I think that above anything really is why it's been so hard for me to like really get into a lot of the modern rap. I mean, don't get me wrong, I listen to Kendrick and Cole and Joey obviously.
Yeah, but
And
like the more like modern like people who are always in the mainstream and like
yeah, like it took me forever to get into Pop Smoke and Nipsey Hussle. It took me forever to get into XXX Tentacion.
yeah,
Like,
it took me a while to get into X, and then like take a look at people like the baby and like NBA YoungBoy. It
yeah,
took
like
consideration and time,
and
and like
and
I blame
don't get
Prince
me don't get
for
me started on
steering
Young Boy
me off like
because
that.
Now,
Prince already know how I feel about him, man.
though Young Boy is one of my more enjoyable like people who I listen to and actually enjoy and listen to, I cannot say that his music is saying anything good or saying like move forward, move positive
'Cause
in life. No, it's
I
not
feel
doing
like
that.
there's like this shunning like towards black people moving out of like the hood mindset. It's sort of like this very like tight like bond, like you can't break it or else you're shunned or else you're a sellout.
That
Like why
reminds
is
me
it
of the
that every
fact that
time like someone blows up,
to
they got to stay in the hood? Like if you leave, you
with
a
the image
sellout.
that the rappers have, like let's see, Tupac, he dated Madonna. Now he broke up.
Did Tupac
He
dated
split
Madonna?
with Madonna
Yes,
because
he
of
did.
I ain't know that.
uh he didn't want their relationship to harm his image towards what his community. That's that I didn't know.
Everybody's been with Madonna though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm like, but the
Like
reason,
Tupac was with Madonna, Michael Jackson was with Madonna, Prince was with Madonna. Like she been for
they
the
ran
streets for
for
the
but
longest.
with
But
like
you know,
rappers,
they
they have
ran
an
for her
image that
like
they've
the
set that they've built
singles.
themselves on that's been built like NLE Chopper. He was built on I don't know how you I don't know what his style of music be. I just know I associate it with NBA YoungBoy. So NBA like you
Would you say?
know
I guess you could call it trap.
okay, let's say trap.
yeah, it
NLE
counts.
Chopper, trap music. Now he had the album Cottonwood and Top Shotter. and then he switched it
Mm.
all and had his last album, Light to Dark, where he tried to go into a more spiritual lane.
Ain't
And
that Italy?
now,
Isn't Italy Chopper one who's been like real woke, and they
yeah,
call him like Italy
yeah.
Chopper now?
So you have him, his image, and like he was built on like a street like person, but now he's moving towards something else. Not a lot of rappers or artists, but rappers specifically, they don't change and move forward or shift in what they do in fear of
I think that
harming the image
reflects
they
like a
already
lot
have.
more on the community rather than the artist. Like how many times like do you hear about a young artist who's on the come up ends up dead because they stayed in the hood because they didn't want to be a sellout? Like how many times are we gonna hear about people ending up dead on the streets because instead of like taking like the money like they've rightly earned by being popular and able to grow as a brand, it's like, well, if you don't stay in the hood or if you don't give back to your community, which to a lesser degree, but like if you don't stay in the hood and you don't maintain that hood image, well, then you're gonna get shunned. People are not gonna listen to your music because now you're a sellout and you are less functional.
Well, here's the thing. There are those that are like that, but even the ones that like come out from the streets and end up really trying to like start on what can be seen as their version of the right path. you
Yeah,
know even them, even those select people can sometimes end up in tragedy. you know
yeah.
Ki-
I'm not like dismissing saying that it can't happen
yeah, like Nipsey Hussle,
because whenever you're
Pop
being
Smoke,
positive, there's gonna be people who want to hate on that
and then obviously X, who at that point was really trying to like make a
Change.
after going through all
turnaround.
that controversy. Yeah, trying to
Yeah, but those three in particular, they were doing so much good for not just hip hop, but
yeah,
for their communities, whether it be in New York or Crenshaw or down in Florida.
yeah.
You know,
It's like all about like once you like start trying to do good with your platform, and like you breaking out of like that really like hood or like gangster image, it's like people don't like that at all. A lot
you
of
know.
people do not like that.
And then with the music that some of them make, with the exclusion of X, um, it's like you're attracting it, like you're pulling it towards you.
Yeah,
Well, it
Ooh,
can't necessarily say the exclusion of X
No, I
because
only say exclusion because like his music compared to Pop Smoke or Nipsey Hussle is very different.
yeah, that's true. That's true. I'll give you that.
I'm not saying like he's excluded entirely, but just based off of the music that they make and the energy that you bring to you, and the energy that people expect you
Yeah.
to have.
what do you think is like the biggest problem that has come out of things like not even just modern, but just like in general? Like, cause like we can talk a lot about like the good that has came from like black music and like rap specifically. Like, what do you think is like one of the worst things that have come out of it?
We refuse to
Is
let
this one from
like,
This is for like I'm not like these topics are
we
for anybody
refuse
to
to
talk
let
on. Like
go of the ignorance.
that's
Yeah, I would say that, like, and this day, and this goes all the way back to, and I hate to keep bringing them up like this in sort of a negative light because I have so much love and respect for him, but
Yeah,
Tupac, in a sense, has a lot to deal with that. After his death, in particular, it started a splur of rappers trying their best to really be like him. You
yeah.
know, I I I look at DMX, I look at 50 Cent, I look at Ja
Oh,
Rule.
DMX is a different breed.
You know, I mean,
anybody that came
yeah,
out after 1990, I want to say 1990 or no 1995 maybe. Yeah,
yeah, even Biggie too, Biggie and Jay.
Yeah,
Because of what they were talking about. how they were portraying themselves, and especially how Pac was portraying himself, because at one moment he's a really nice guy. At
Yeah.
the next moment he's saying F you, you, and you. F everybody. He's holding guns, throwing up gang signs, all of
He
that.
even spoke on that in the
And
interview.
Yeah, I would also like say like that's like not like dismissing it, but like at the same time like that was a different time in the black community.
yeah,
Like I think the big thing is like comparing that to like also bringing it to now like to modern standards.
The only thing.
yeah, and even now,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
go ahead. Even now with who else? Um, I would say Nipsey right before he died. You have other rappers, um, like I would throw Chief Keef in there.
YG.
You have a YG too, yeah, definitely. You have a lot of the rappers here in Detroit, you know, and I like a lot of them, Sada Baby, T Grizzly,
Yeah,
FMBDZ. You have a lot of those guys, that are really like out here and they're literally rapping what they're living, you know.
and there is
And
some of them who rap what they don't live.
yeah. Now I don't know where Pac falls along that line because again, none of the three of us we may have done as much research as we need
Yeah, of
about him,
course, like
but
his
we
own.
don't know for sure,
uh,
you know.
And I think it's even worse when like people like they get on the train, they start rapping about stuff they haven't lived. Because at least when you lived it, like now you're making music based off of your lived experience. But like when you like just jump on the train and you start talking about stuff you've never lived or experienced, I feel like that only serves to add towards this negative influence on like black youth and like the population in general.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to is it okay if I shift over?
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Because this raises a lot of good points with all of the issues in music. So for me particularly because of who I've been listening to as of late, um, do you guys think that a person's sexuality affects how you listen to their music?
See, my original answer I had was gonna be yes, but I assumed that I assumed that you were about to say like the general,
I thought you were
the
going
pop, like everybody as a whole.
like,
Me
here comes Tyler
specifically,
again.
me specifically, I don't know. I've never really, I wouldn't really care about it, but
Yeah,
then it's like, so see now it's certain things that you just might like you shouldn't. I don't want to hear. Like I was
Yeah,
talking, Derek. I was talking to you about it with Biggie. That's why you think
yeah,
I don't want to hear that, right? Like I don't want to hear what you might do with somebody's dad. I don't want to hear it, right?
yeah,
Like, will it affect how? Like, will it
yeah.
affect? Will I be like, oh, he gay? I don't want to listen to it. No, that's not what I would do.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like for me, it's like it's not even like it doesn't come like the big thing for me is like we need like people just in general like this is like the entire like American culture like we need to
mhm,
like quit like putting these labels on ourselves and that being like the only part of our personality. Like when I
yeah,
hear a good piece of music, I'm not thinking, well, this guy is black, this guy is or like this guy is gay, this girl is trans, whatever. I don't care. Like you can make and like not saying like you can't make music that stems from those topics, but like even when like you're not trying to like make music, bringing about stuff like that, it's like
yeah,
your identity doesn't matter.
For
You
example,
should
like
just
yeah.
use your
I
creative
don't know
mind.
if we were talking about black artists specifically, but like for example, you have like I listen to Elton John and I enjoy myself.
I do too.
I've listened to Frank
I love
I
Sinatra.
Elton.
brought
Like
I brought this whole situation up because of two artists primarily, and I don't know if Prince, I don't know if you've been keeping up with me on Snap or anything, but I've been listening to a lot of
yeah,
Prince. lately. And I understand why some people can't get into him because he has this whole androgynous thing going on with him. And
What?
for many, many years, it was questioned as to whether he was gay, whether he was straight, or whether he was bisexual or something like that. And my thing about it has always been it shouldn't matter.
Yeah,
You know, Tyler made Igor last year. It shouldn't matter that he is kind of like in between. Did he say whether he was or not? Do either of y'all
He plays
know?
with the
Or
idea
yeah,
of it,
yeah. I don't
but
know.
no,
yeah,
he just
It's like,
trolls
listen,
people over it.
yeah, like
yeah,
it's cool, but like when you hop on Flex with that freestyle, I'm like,
Me
yeah,
personally,
I
I
don't
don't care about the
particularly want to hear
freestyles, but
that.
like even with like Tyler the Creator dancing around and deciding what he wants to be or trying to play with or what we think he is, Igor, or if I don't know if I'm saying it right, but Igor, I love that album. It was cool to me.
Yeah,
I
I
did
don't
too.
care what's going on with him.
yeah,
Prince, me personally, I don't listen to him a lot, but I like his music. I don't care about what he has
Yeah,
going on.
yeah, and I feel the same way. Because I've been listening to Prince heavily, heavily, and I'm like, and it just strikes me odd. I'm just like, this man makes phenomenal music. I haven't heard like one bad album from this dude. Why is he not talked about just as much as Michael and Stevie and the rest of those
Because
guys? It's a
that's
shame.
a
like how Jaden
that's like
Smith,
a
when
good
Jaden Smith
lead.
was wearing skirts and people like despise or talked about him for it. Prince was somebody
Yeah,
he
Yeah,
didn't really care about
I,
what he wore. It was just like this is what I'm deciding to wear. So he's wore
yeah. I feel
heels.
like some people
Wasn't
like
didn't he
do
wear
it
something where his
for
cheeks was out?
attention, and like some people just do it
Prince
because that's
went
what they live.
on Prince went on the VMAs one time wearing an all yellow outfit and the cheeks were cut out in his yellow
Yeah,
pants. Yes, he
he went
did
out
that.
with everything. He's not even the only artist to wear females clothing.
Yeah,
But what I was
you know.
confused because see X has worn females clothing, but he doesn't get as much backlash, as much trash talk as say a Prince or a Jaden Smith does or did.
Yeah, yeah, I guess that's true. I guess it's because the way that X acted didn't necessarily coincide with what he may have wore from time to time. With Prince and Jaden and Tyler, there were times where they would act alongside what they were wearing. And that's
Yeah,
what sort of threw people off. With
I,
X, you didn't really get that.
I think that leads into like a larger like just topic like the big rift between the black community and then the LGBTQ community. Excuse me, don't get me canceled on Twitter. Uh, but like there's like a large rift in between black people and then LGBTQ people. I'm just gonna call them gay. Uh,
Well, okay, so I can speak on
but
that.
it's like I think like that stems from like a lot of things.
For me, growing up, my mother she kind of raised me to hate gay people. Like she kind of raised me to be like anybody that's not like us, there's like straight, then they're just not meant to be. They're not meant to be here. There's something dealing with the devil. They gotta go. They gotta burn. That's how I was raised. Now,
Similar.
up until ninth grade, that's how I moved. So like, gay bad, bisexual bad, lesbian bad. Like that's just how it was. Now I really couldn't care less as long as you ain't like if you're homosexual, as long as you ain't trying to push that on me, like um I don't want you to be pushing your sexuality on me, whatever you may be. Just be like, just act normal. Just like be like, don't gotta be like me. Just be you. Just don't push you on me. Like I don't care what you are.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like raised in like a similar way. Yeah, to like listen like people like my family like the older people like in my family they was dropping f bombs, calling people s whatever just because like the way your hair was, like the type of clothes you wore, like you were just
Yeah.
less of a man. I mostly like I experienced it like from a side of like the male like part of my family, but like I think like for me it was a lot different because I experienced it a lot from the female side of my family. I think a lot of
Yeah.
people bring up like how their father was, but like I heard it more mostly from like the females
And
in
then
my
I hear
family.
a lot where
But like
when they say if you're a male and you grow up around mostly females, and you turn like you become homosexual or something to that nature.
yeah, there's like a lot of just like these
That's
negative
cap.
like ideas where like and like cause like for me, like I was growing up, I minded my business. I ain't talking for real. Like, cause I'm a very like private person. Like if I like the average person ain't gonna know what I'm doing, how I'm moving. Like that's and like there would be points where like my mom would be like, "Are you gay?" And like she would ask me that, like all consideration. I'm like, and I look at her like, "Why did you ask?" It's like, cause I'd be looking like first of all, it doesn't matter, and like second of all, like I don't see like why like are you asking like such like a like afraid tone, and it was just and like for me like hearing that and like being asked that like not only led to like a negative blow towards me and self esteem, but it also it opened me up to like learning about like the LGBT community like earlier than like a lot of people because like I'm like listen like how can these people be like such terrible people because like what because like I was big like I was quiet but I was rebellious like if somebody said something I'm like that might be true that might not be I'm gonna take it with a grain of salt half the time and so like
Yeah.
just and it was just another big thing in the black community is like the only way you can be homosexual is if you're like sexually assaulted like
That's
being
not
gay
true.
of course it's not true I'm not saying it's
Yeah.
true but like that was like hearing that I'm like Jesus
Now,
Christ
I do have a strong sense of, not a strong sense of, I have a strong admiration for those of the LGBTQ community. Why? Because I admire the bravery, like they just stand, like this is what I am. Even though it's a dangerous place to just be like, this is what I am, they just do it.
especially in the
You
black
could be put
community
in harm's way, but you just doing it. Because me being straight, I've had times where I've been scared to talk to a female, right? So I'm just like, I admire the bravery you
Same,
got
brother.
going on. I admire that.
imagine going to talk to another dude man I can't imagine because like I've met like gay people, like some like because like for me it's just like I don't like it when females are flamboyant, so I'm not gonna like it when you are. That's not me having a negative stereotype towards gay people. That's just me not liking the character trait because I'm not the type of person that I like things low key. I don't want to hear like your entire life if I barely know you, and like I like keeping it low key. I like keeping it chill. Why we gotta be loud and boisterous sometimes? But it's just like listen, like I've met a lot of gay people that are like, just cool people. Like I just talk to them like how is this life and it's like just hearing like the negative things they go through like it's very humbling hearing that like because like me I'm black I'm conservative so I experience my own challenges there like at the end of the day that's just my ideas that's not people's livelihoods that's not people like this every like down to like the people you love I think that's a very hard thing to get over
Right.
compared to
And so for me in particular, um, I think Prince knows this, but my best friend is a gay female,
Hmm.
you know. So of course I'm in firm support of her,
yeah
100%. I know her story, and I'm not going to like put her business out there at all. But yeah, I understand that she has been through a lot, um, having to like really like process things and really getting her family to like um having to like tell them and for
yeah
them to like really like accept it. It hasn't been the easiest for her, you know. So I understand a lot of their pain because um
Yeah, for me, like I understand, I can't, I can never like understand like it completely because like I'm not going through it, but like, I can like respect you and like have empathy for you because I was also an outsider. Like I was white boy. I was questioned like, are you sure you like are you like do you want to be white? Like are you sure you identify as black? Like just like having a being like a part of that huge outsider mentality just because like possibly like, the way I think and like the way I hold myself to a higher regard. But like just hearing like the way like especially in the black community how we separate people so quickly if we do not fit the overarching stereotype is just amazing to me.
Now with me,
And I
when
and like, of course, it's like in other communities, but I think in the black community, it's a very
with
large
me
one.
dealing with anybody that LGBTQ, I spoke to a great deal of them. I spoke to homosexual males, not really homosexual females, because a lot of them were real sensitive and got mad at me. Even though I was never trying to offend nobody, I just wanted to understand. But man, like I've talked to transgenders before, so I understand. Can't relate, but I understand. So I have like no hate for them. Because sometimes I kind of wish that I knew more, like actually knew. Because even though I talked to some, we're not friends because we just didn't talk that much and get to that level to really know each other.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
like yeah, this brings me back to like a topic we were talking about, like some of the most destructive things from like that rap had brought up. Like I think one of like the largest just overarching issues in the black community that stops us from going very far, and that I think now it's like expanding out a lot more to people of other different communities is there is a huge rift between black men and black women.
Yeah. And I believe that a lot of it has to do with a lot of it has to do with homosexuality. You know, there are there are men being attracted to men instead of women. There are women being attracted to women instead of men. It's sort of a double edged sword, but
Yeah,
there's also
I see like a
obviously
lot of it, like like coming from like just culture, like how time shifts. Like I think like one of the largest bases is like for me, like seeing into it is like the separation between the black mother and black father through the socioeconomic political policies of people like LBJ and the Great Society Act. Like
yeah
seeing like things being created that sound like good, like oh like I ain't trying to step on nobody's toes, but like Section 8, like, oh, that's a good thing. Let's give money to the disenfranchised and try to help them out in housing. But like the thing is, when Section 8 was created, that was created by a racist dude for racist intentions.
yeah
LBJ was a racist guy. He put out the order to kill Martin Luther King. And like the thing is, like the big thing about Section 8 was the separation of the black mother and father because the father couldn't be in the home if you wanted to get benefits. So I think like that has led to like a big separation between the black family, which has in turn trickled down to black men and women.
yeah. And I think a lot of it, both sides tend to truly like disrespect each other.
Yeah,
And that I feel is another unfortunate aspect. And that circles right back around to rap music, and a lot of the songs that you hear, whether it be from the past or present
yeah,
day, you have a lot of male rappers calling females out of their name. You have the music videos basically degrading women
yeah.
in some ways. And then I'm
Then
I'm
we
I'm
have
sorry.
like on the other side, like we have like prominent figures like Cardi B, who was even like talking to politicians, and like she like got away with saying, "Oh yeah, I drugged and robbed people, probably black men specifically," but that's a
Yeah,
prominent figure, and she said that, and, like, if that was any other person, like, they wouldn't be getting away like, you wouldn't see a white woman saying that or
yeah,
a dude saying that in general at all,
yeah,
and,
and
like,
it's kind.
to have, like, this, like, big thing of, like, the female rap thing about finessing dudes, like, I think that's a chunk of it as well.
Yeah, and it's kind of that whole thing is kind of sort of weird because of all of the mainstream rappers that you could have chose, you choose that one in particular. No disrespect to Cardi, but
All
you have
disrespect. I feel
you
like people picked because it was easy. I feel like
you-
it was done on purpose. Like this here's a person who degrades herself, in my opinion, and has shown how it's possibly been a negative influence towards the black community. So now we're gonna put this person compared to, and you can have Kendrick, Cole, Missy
that's
Elliott, Erica
that's
Badu, whatever. But it's like I feel like it was on purpose.
that was exactly what I was gonna go into. Like you could have chose Kendrick, you could have chose Cole, you could have chose shoot, you could have chose somebody like Eminem, who has openly
That
came
wouldn't
out
have
and stood for us.
that
You
wasn't gonna
know,
fly. There's a lot of black people who still hate him.
yeah, I mean, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of his, but I guess I like the guy, you know. Um, but I'm saying like out of everybody that you could have chose, you chose her in particular to kind of sort of represent all of us. I did not like that.
Not only black people, but people like the Spanish community.
Yeah, I did not like that at all.
And then there was another thing that was similar, where it was like I didn't like see it like out in the wild, but I saw like the video afterwards. It was a music video that was orchestrated to help because like black men voting records is low. So it was called "Get Your Booty to the Polls." It was a bunch of black women twerking in order to create a message for that was created for mostly black men to go and vote. And to see that be created is just it shows like the lack of respect and like the lack of like regards towards people of color, because not only do you have these black women degrading themselves, but you're also thinking that the only way to attract young black men to vote is by enticing them with sexuality. I think that was also a big
Okay.
thing that because
Um.
like that creates a rift.
So I don't know if you like I don't know if you just want to keep targeting them or not. If you want to keep targeting them to some people, but because the like you went towards Cardi B, and then now you're going towards it. I don't never seen the video, so I can't say if it happened or not.
I'll send
But
it to you.
um, you're just targeting women. Now let's see. With the women twerking or whatever the case is, males, male rappers, male artists, they kind of if you were to say that that's something bad, right? That's something
Yeah, I'm
bad
not
thing. I'm
like
not saying
saying
that
like
I'm
this
not
is like
saying that I support it. I'm not saying go and do it. But see, male rappers, that's usually what you see in all of their videos at any point in
yeah, like
time. Wait, wait,
that's
wait
not me
before
saying
before
it's
you keep
only the
going,
female issue.
before you cut
That's
me off
mostly
again,
yeah.
right? You see, you got
Don't put me in the negative light.
that's usually what you see. Not saying that that's what's gonna like just seeing a twerking female isn't gonna get everybody to go, every male going to vote. No, but that they're
No, I'm
like
not
that
saying like
because of
that's what I thought. I'm saying like that was what they specifically like pointed out to. Like that's what the people who made it, like that was
I
their
need you to
goal.
not cut me
But I'm
off
gonna stop cutting you off. Yeah, my bad.
because you're pissing me off. So
God damn. Calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the knife.
you have any other
My
examples?
bad. My bad. Like examples of what?
Or what you were
Of
going
like
into? You were going towards something. You had like a message you was going into.
yeah, it was like I think the best way to like fix the black community, like it's like once we like hash out like all of our problems is the rebuilding of the black family. Like we have to find a way to break this rift between black men and women in order to help, because like that's where it starts from the family, because people coming from single parent homes are the ones who are more likely to go to jail, not graduate high school, and remain in poverty. So I think that is going to be the largest thing. That's going to start by us like trying to heal this niggas ain't shit, bitches ain't shit. We got to heal that narrative.
Derek,
Uh, Excuse me. I agree with that statement, you know, and the only way that that can be done at this point, it starts with um our generation, I
Yeah,
believe, you know, because we are in it now at this stage in the game. We're not in high school and grade school
yeah. There's
anymore.
people having kids now. Like we're at
Yeah,
that age.
yeah, we are out in the world for real this time, you know. So if the change is going to come at any time soon, it needs to start with us. I understand that many of us come from single parent families. Many of us have fathers that weren't
Uh,
there for them, mothers that weren't there for them, or just a mix of both. I get that.
yeah,
But we shouldn't let where we come from affect how we treat the generations after us in the long run and how we treat our families in the long run. That shouldn't happen. So how you kind of bend that bridge is that you try your best to instill in our generation the importance of really like um sticking together and um
committed relationships and remaining faithful. Because like nowadays, like and like this isn't just the black community. Like this is a lot of people in general. I feel like it's not saying it started. Well, I could say it started because that was the one that trended down first in terms of single parenthood. But like, yeah, it's just like nowadays, it's like, oh, we having ups and downs in relationships. Might as well cheat.
yeah, we have to we have to really give our generation the future that we didn't have,
Yeah,
if
and
that
lead by
makes sense.
example.
Yeah, we have to be those leaders, you know. We have to lead as far as family life and parenting is concerned, kind of in the way of a Martin Luther King, not necessarily a Malcolm X because he liked to hit people, but but we have to like bring peace and love and joy back to many families, and it spans
It's gonna
far
be hard. Yeah,
yeah, it spans far beyond just African American
Yeah.
families. We're talking families of all races, sizes, genders, all of that.
Hmm.
yeah. It's like just because like our like black single parent is the highest doesn't mean that every other race has that journey to go
Now, my
through.
question
Yeah, as far go ahead, Prince.
Yeah, Prince was saying something.
now, as humans, right? If you take away race, color, whatever the case, whatever you want to call it, we're stuck in the not a cycle. We're not stuck in a cycle, but you're stuck in like what you see, what you go through is what you do again. Like the cycle that you went through is what you're going to go put the next people that come after you through. So like the abused become the abuser. How would you go about changing how the black family or any family at all, how would you go about changing the family if there's like a cycle going on that just continues and continues?
Well, I and I'll speak for me. You have yeah, I'll speak for me, and I'll kind of take the place of the generation after us that we would be teaching.
Yeah,
You know, I would say that if the generation after us, some of them see a cycle happening in their family, and the cycle is bad, they are going to have to see it and recognize it for what it is And in that case, they might have to be the ones to just say, you know what, I'm gonna change this and make sure that I'm not like what I see. Sometimes it happens like that. There are many cases where um, you know, sometimes our generation does not lead by example. That's sad. That's sad
Yeah,
to think about, but it's the truth, you know. And that is a cycle in itself, you know. Not saying that everybody does this, but it's from what I've
Yeah.
seen, you know. So yeah, in that case, um, some people, kids, youth, whatever, they would have to look at it and, like I said, recognize it for what it is, know what's
yeah,
right, know what's wrong, and say, okay, I see this. I don't want to do this. I'm going to go a different direction.
Right.
like for me, like personally, it's like become like because I'm not good at sticking to one thing, but like for me, it's just become part of my life goal as someone who wants to be a public speaker and like step into the public forum because the thing is, a lot of our leaders, especially like black leaders, they're not the ones that are gonna preach like these values. And like for me, like I know a lot of the motivation comes like for me politically. I am a conservative, and I think like I'm not saying black people should become conservative, but I'm saying some of these values we've lost. I think things like togetherness and the family structure, and things like there was like there was like one like group that wrote a paper like things like being on time and working hard or like values of like white not what like white privilege or like white supremacy. I'm like, why is it are we like letting these people represent us and say that we're like saying like we're like basically children that need to be coddled? Like why is there a fetishization of like people of color in general, like black people? Like where well, because you're doing bad, well, it's like instead of like giving you like values and like trying to create an equality of opportunity by like trying to help expand these values, like, well, we have to create these rigid things. We're like, oh, well, we have to try to create quotas and we have to try to do all this, create all these programs. Right? And like just sort of like just coddle as if though we're children. But like for me, it's like it's just been about taking the time, tying your boots, lifting yourself up by your bootstraps. I saw myself at one point going down these like statistics, like going down that path. I had to like change like myself and like stand up and learn that like listen, Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, everybody of any color, race, like they saw that there was a problem, they recognized it, and they realized that the only way we're gonna get change and the only way we're gonna try to get higher is, well, I have to lead by example. I have to be open about the way I see it. I have to accept that not everyone's gonna agree with me or like the methods I do. But I have to realize that perhaps, like, if people are gonna hate me or dislike me, well, I'm had to accept that because at least I'll live my life knowing that I'm helping people. Like I'm trying to help people. Like it for me, like it ties similarly to like a lot of people don't know this, but like women suffragettes, 50% of women did not want the right to vote. Like a lot of people didn't know that. But like the thing is, it had to be that 50% who did had to stand up like, listen, I know how this may seem, but like listen, like the right to vote is like something powerful that we need to hold and cherish to. And like for me it just comes down to public speaking and my political background and like just taking those parts of me and just trying to lead by example and create a platform like this podcast for people to talk to, even though we might not agree on everything. It's still up to us to be like we might not agree whatever right or left, but it's up to us to aim forward and to aim higher and try to come together as and create that common goal and meet the middle ground. You got anything to add on to that, Brent?
No, Derek.
I think that was some good talk.
I'm about to say it doesn't really matter if we wanted to go over the hour. Like that was just like the tip, like the minimum.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
forgot. I don't know who said it, but I do remember a quote. It was I don't know if I'm saying it word for word, but it was like, "Be the change you want to see in the world," or yeah, "Be the change you want to see."
I got a few throwaway questions. Like how do you feel about like artist of the year? How you feel about that one? Like me and Prince was talking about that the other day.
Artist of the year as far as the Grammys,
I think it was the
And
Grammys.
who was artist?
It was like rap artist of the year.
rap artist of the year. Who were the
Prince, what was
nominees?
Prince? Who like what was that award that Meg The Stallion won? That we was like I don't know about that one.
Was it rap artist of the year? I think it was.
I
Yeah, it
thought it
was. It
was.
was rap artist of the year. Megan Thee Stallion was the top winner at the 2020 BET Hip Hop Awards back in October.
Over who?
Let me see. I'm pretty sure it was Roddy Rich, unless that was the album.
Oh no.
Let me go back to.
Lil Baby,
Mhm.
Future, the
Oh
Baby,
Right,
Drake,
right, yeah,
and
that's what
Roddy
everybody was
Rich.
talking about.
she won over Roddy and Lil Baby? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. Listen, okay. I didn't want to have to do this, but I'm gonna get it off my chest.
Hey,
I
we
like
at the
Megan.
end of the podcast. Ain't nobody gonna listen this long.
Yeah, listen, I like Megan, right? I really do. But she ain't the one to be leading this whole female surge.
Empowerment.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep it a buck.
If anybody
Go ahead, keep going, keep going.
if it's anybody, and I'm scoping all of the female MCs in the game, it needs to be somebody who carries themselves with a little bit more class. And again, no disrespect to Megan, but it needs to be somebody who carries themselves with a little bit more class than she does. And that's why I think like Rhapsody would be like
Yep,
the
yep.
perfect one for that,
Yeah,
because not only does she carry herself the way I described, but also she's the best MC in the game, female wise, you know.
No, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I don't like Megan Thee Stallion's music. Why? Because she's like a clone of the baby, just like Stunner for Vegas. I think that's his name. He like I can't listen to
yeah.
like artists who make the same type of music. So me personally,
Yeah,
I can't. I don't like her music. Now, have I listened to it? Yeah. Do I like it? No.
That
The
new
message isn't
song.
doing much. I keep
yeah.
hearing the body song everywhere, and it's annoying. I don't know how
Body can go in the lake and die.
I don't know how she won above Lil Baby. He put out the bigger picture, and My Turn this year. I don't know how that worked, but
And then
Exactly.
it's like
then please excuse me for being antisocial. Win something
yeah,
though.
it was album of the
Yeah,
year. But the thing about it is
Yeah,
like I don't like you were saying she shouldn't be the head of what's going on with the female empowerment. No,
yeah,
she embodies the ghetto female to me.
yeah. And then there are people that say, well, what about Nikki? Shouldn't she lead? No, she shouldn't either.
she was just
Because
predecessor.
while technically not as bad, she's really no better, you
This
know.
isn't us being sexist, by the way. We just discussed. Like this is
Yeah,
like under
this
the
is
frame of like because we're dudes. We're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about females.
yeah.
Like we're not like
Just like
there are plenty. I have plenty of
Because
issues. So like the male
the thing
artists we
is,
have.
we're not. I'm
just
not
like
saying that Megan Thee Stallion is bad.
You can chase your bag whoever the way you want. I can't blame you for like society like wanting that out of female artists.
yeah, okay. So what do you guys think about the rap album of the year nominations for the Grammys?
No, I didn't watch the Grammys. What was the nomination? What was the nominees?
Let's see here. Um Rap album of the year 2020 nominees. If I'm correct, it was Alfredo by Freddie
Oh
Gibbs and
yes,
the Alchemist. Yeah, The Allegory by Royce the 5'9".
yeah.
Um,
King's Disease.
King's Disease. Yeah. The J Rock album, I believe. Was it
Yeah,
J Rock or J Electronica?
electronic.
Yeah,
Jay
yeah, yeah.
Shameless Black
Electronic.
Habits by D Smoke. Now I have a big problem with
Yeah.
this. I have a large problem with this. First of all, Nine should be up there. The Allegory was good. Alfredo should be up there. That was fine. King
Yes,
no,
indeed.
it's only up there because it's Nas. Jay Electronica, he was gone for how many years? He shouldn't be up there. He doesn't exist. D Smoke,
I
I
don't know who
just
that
no.
is.
I'm not saying
Who
it's
is
bad,
D
right? I'm
Smoke?
not saying it's bad. I don't know who it is, but I'm not saying I'm not saying it's bad. I'll give it a listen. I will because it's up there. But with the albums that came out, like um, let's see, My Turn, Circles by Mac Miller,
Yeah,
Pop Smoke's album. Uh,
Juice WRLD's
no,
album.
no,
Listen,
no.
there's no way in the world you're telling me that
I ain't
no
saying it was
pressure.
album of the year,
No, not that. It's just
but
like it's so many other like people, so many other albums. Why is it only
Listen, listen, there's no way you're gonna sit here and tell me that No Pressure and Detroit 2 didn't deserve nominations.
dog?
at
And
least
Circles, especially. You're not gonna tell me that.
the
No.
circles rolled away the entire time.
Exactly. So that's beyond me, you know.
That's just business.
And then the fact that the weekend didn't get one single nomination this year for the Grammys,
Listen, I just
unbelievable.
listened to Blinding Lights like 2 weeks ago. I'm addicted now. I'm a weekend fan now. I
Yeah,
used to say, what's up? Because like when I saw like the cover, I'm like, what is up with this weird dude? We got another weird dude again. But like now I'm like, that's
Listen to
talent.
Trilogy and Starboy. I think that's what it's called. But the weekend, I know his album did numbers. I know his singles, Blinding Light and Heartless, did numbers. I know, like
Yeah.
I was listening to it when it first came out. I remember when it came, like day after it came out. I was on the bus. I was on a bus in the morning going to school, listening to it. And I was cool. It's good. It should have been nominated, but I kept seeing everybody talking about him. Like I don't. I listened to the After Hours album not too long ago. Like I was telling Derek, like I didn't really see it as it wasn't that special to me. Like, it didn't hit me. It didn't hit me different. I didn't get like wow, this is mind blowing. Like no, I just Starboy was better to me. And I've had that type of feeling with some artists like Logic, No Pressure. I love that album. I hated the last three he put out. So
same.
like I'm not saying that with the weekend shit like doesn't deserve he deserves the nomination and being a nominee, but I didn't see why there was so much going on for this one artist.
Yeah. Like, but the Grammys is known for doing some real underhanded stuff like that. I let us not forget 2015. I believe it was 2015 or 2014, where rap album of the year went to Macklemore over Jay-Z, Kendrick Lamar, Kanye West, and Drake.
Let me see. Was that 20?
And they,
Yeah, that was 2013.
Yeah.
yeah, let us not forget that because that was very underhanded.
Grammys be wild. What like
So
what else? What
just
are the
like an
top 10?
off question. What are y'all's album of the year? Album of the years.
M-
Me,
My
Circles.
Yeah.
For me, I was talking to Prince, Caleb.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. And me and him were really we were talking about the whole Grammy situation, and we straight up said it's between Detroit 2 and No Pressure. He said Detroit 2, I said No Pressure. No Pressure for me was kind of like the storybook ending that we needed to Logic's
Yeah.
career, and it impacted me and it almost made me cry
Mm-hmm.
because it was just like, finally. It's unfortunate that it came at the end of his career that we finally got somewhat of the old Logic back, but he gave
Yeah.
us what we wanted.
Mm-hmm. Another.
with
Yeah.
this last
The
one.
reason why I didn't, the reason why I'm not as big of a fan of the No Pressure album as others can be is because I'm not the biggest Logic fan. But
Of
No
course,
Pressure, I can give it his credit. It was amazing, right? Loved the album. But it,
you know,
Circles, when it came out, and like it came out at a time where I could say I was probably around like at my lowest. So when it came out, I'm listening to it and it's just hitting me different and all types the same way that For Your Eyes Only did, which is why I put it above
Yeah,
2014 Forest Hills Drive as my top J.
yeah,
Cole album because it hit me different. I felt it on a different type of level than like the other albums or other songs or anything else that came out after.
yeah, yeah. Prince recommended Circles to me when I was going through some bad times. I'm like, this is a
So
piece.
though
Circles is phenomenal.
Detroit 2
Yeah,
and No Pressure and Alfred, like all of those were great. They won't top Circles for me only because of the time that it came to me, the time that it was delivered to me, and I heard it, and then I got to it.
I
yeah.
get it. Yeah. So, what do you guys think about the possibility of us getting um, Cole and Kendrick albums soon?
All right,
What's that? What's that on that SpongeBob thing where Plankton's like, finally?
all right. So like, is this like just a
I have to
hypothetical
wait.
question, or like it's something that came up recently? I don't want
Take it how you
like
will.
you have y'all seen
I've been
Avengers
listening to
Endgame?
all the albums in preparation.
Y'all seen Endgame?
Yeah,
Okay, it's a part in there where Hawkeye
I,
like don't give me hope. So don't give me hope. like,
yeah.
but
But yeah,
yeah.
so this. Okay.
But Joey has openly said that he is coming out with an album soon.
I want to hear.
Like,
Well, hopefully.
We all heard the light pack, correct?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to.
To,
That got my anticipation up, my excitement up.
to
I can
me, the
dig it.
light pack was better than what Cole dropped not too long after that. Now,
Yeah.
Prince, I know you
No,
probably
no, no, no,
disagree.
no, no. I can say like so for me, they like about equal, but I could see it. I could see it. I could see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's just me being like a Joey fan. Like, I really think that he is the best rapper of this generation from my point of view. I know he's not as big as Cole or Kendrick or
Yeah.
Drake, but
Yeah.
to me, like, he can rap better than all three of them
Mm.
and everybody else for that matter.
Oh, I'm
All right,
clipping
now
this.
Listen,
that
He
I can't
said it.
agree with. Now that I can't
He
agree.
said it,
Drake,
and I'm clipping
yeah.
it.
I, I said what I said.
My
You know,
I can support you. I can respect it, but I can't agree with it. I can't.
Yeah, I can't
Prince
agree
will
with you.
argue for Cole all day.
Hell
I
yeah,
will too.
dog.
I will too.
Um,
I've been listening to his albums in preparation.
No,
It's a different type of life when you at work and you just listening to 2014 Forest Hill Drive. You like, oh my god,
nine.
Don't get me
like
wrong. Listen. It's a reason why I got 2014 Forest Hills on vinyl, but 1999 is coming. I'm just saying, like, like you know,
Joey
like
is one of the top 10 rappers, but I cannot put him
yeah.
above Cole. I just
What's
why
another
not?
like
see.
random?
All right, so there's one project by Joey I haven't heard. It's not I heard 1999. I heard All American Badass. No,
You didn't hear before the money,
no.
so
What was that one? Was it that? Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's
So
it.
I haven't heard that. No. So like, if you just take, so I was putting that out there now. So with For Your Eyes Only, that just puts Cole above so many people for me. Out his what I know I didn't forget it. Friday Night Lights. I can't put Joey above Friday Night Lights.
So 1999 against Friday Night Lights, their two best mixtapes.
Mm,
Done.
You taking Friday Night Lights
above it
Done.
because
Done.
over 1999?
yes. So yeah. Yes,
Wow. All right.
Let's
I,
get it.
yes, I am. I'm not even saying that
I
1999 is it's like it's great, dog. I was listening to that yesterday. Illuminati, my favorite song off of it.
Definitely. Steez would have been big, man. Capital Steez would have been big had he lived.
Uh, with Cole, Joey, Kendrick, if you want to include them in there, but with their albums coming now, right? The ones like the Fall Off, Untitled for whatever Joey may call his, and Kendrick may call his now. Who do you think? Like, what do you think is gonna happen with these new, like next projects? Like, I've heard people say the Fall Off would be Cole's best project. I can't say that. Um,
We never
Well,
see.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. You know, and I'm gonna give my take on each of them respectively. Joey, do I think he can top his best work, which right now for me is 1999?
Mhm.
I think he has the potential and the skill and the right people behind him to where he can do that. Do I think he will? Probably not. But I don't expect him to release a bad album. Okay. For Cole, people saying The Fall Off will be his best album. You people are delusional.
Hey, that's why.
You
That's
are
that's why.
delusional. Like, there's no, for me, there's no topping For Your Eyes Only. And there's
Yeah, that's
definitely no
that's rough.
topping. There's definitely no topping Forest Hills for me. For me. Kendrick, people are saying that if this new album surpasses To Pimp a Butterfly and Good Mad City,
mhm.
he will be considered the greatest rapper of all
Yeah,
time.
we talked about that.
To those people, yep, we talked about it yesterday. To those people, I say, you're smoking. And I don't know what it is you're smoking, but you need to get off of it. There is no,
I mean,
there,
yeah.
Kendrick is not topping those two at
You
all.
never know, to be honest. Like this is like, cause like for me, like, cause like I haven't listened to a lot of rap this year, but like one of my like biggest albums of the year was from a band called All Time Low. Like they released an album called Wake Up Sunshine. Like that was right after like a bad album they had that like a lot of people didn't like, and like just seeing like artists like take the time to like slow down and just like really get into the process and like because like they all moved into a house together and like they wrote that album and it was just amazing like seeing what happens when they just when the artist just slows down and just really gets focused on the
Now, the
craft.
only difference between that and Kendrick is because To Pimp a Butterfly wasn't a bad album.
To Pimp a Butterfly to me is the second best album of all time
Now,
as far as rap.
I just well, let me see. How do I don't know if Korin, if you do or not, but how do we rank Kendrick's discography? How are we ranking this here?
I haven't listened to all of his discography, so I really can't help you on there. I know I'm committing sacrilege, but like, listen, I'm moving slow, but I'll be there eventually.
You want me to go, Prince, or do you want to go first?
Bro, from
I'll
what
go.
I've heard, I still don't think he can beat
No.
Cole. So
No. For me, uh, I, To Pimper Butterfly and Good Kid, Mad City are very close, but To Pimper Butterfly is better. And so To Pimper one, Good Kid, Mad City. Two, Overly Dedicated. I don't know if you want to like. I don't think that's an album. That's mixtape, right?
That's a
Right.
mixtape,
No,
but we can count it.
no, we'll do albums. We'll just do albums.
Because if you were gonna say overly dedicated was three, you're tripping.
Um, I don't like. Damn, I don't like it. I don't like. I
Really?
like it. I like some songs, but I don't. I feel like he went toward like how Cole did with Sideline Story. Same reason why I don't like that one. It just seems like they just went into a direction I couldn't bear. Listen, like Duckworth, Fear, Lust,
Duckworth is top 10 song of all time for Kendrick.
Duckworth,
Definitely.
Fear, Lust, like those are like those were amazing. DNA, it was overrated to me. Humble, overplayed.
Yeah.
yeah,
Ja, I couldn't really rock with it. I didn't really feel it. Feel, I liked it. It was just yeah. Until he like
What about Element?
Oh, okay, no, that's the one I'm thinking about. Not Feel. Element is what I'm thinking about. Element, I liked it, but I kept hearing people say like the first lines, and I'm just like, you're just annoying me now. So I'm just like to the point where I can't really rock with it. But I like it. Like it's not one of my favorites. Fear, Lust, and Duckworth are my top songs. I just like you have songs like Love and Loyalty. I didn't really like those. Like I didn't like the was it Loyalty with Rihanna? Yeah, I didn't like the background.
Yeah, it was
I didn't like the
Loyalty.
background, like the
Yeah,
background sound you heard of like a synthy voice.
yeah.
Yeah, that if you didn't know that that was a sample of 24 Karat Magic by Bruno Mars, the song.
No, I didn't.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's the sample there.
Yeah, that's interesting. Seeing like a lot of like songs like having samples, like you have no idea where it came from, and then you
Yeah.
look at it like, oh, it's from him.
Yeah. Okay, so for me, oh wait, Prince, were you done with your ranking?
Oh, so the problem with Section 80 is that I forgot a lot of it, so I can't
Yeah.
even rank it anywhere. Like like I was on Apple Music, my music was on the radio, and Chapter 6 came on, and I just like it just hit. I'm like, oh man, what is this? I'm like, who is this? And then I real oh it's off of this album. I haven't heard this in a while, so
Yeah.
I can't rank Section 80 anywhere because I haven't listened to it in a long time.
I just want to say I can't wait to put hashtag J Cole, hashtag Kendrick in the description for all them clicks. So I appreciate y'all. Uh,
Yeah. Okay, so for me now, to me, there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. To Pimp a Butterfly is hands down Kendrick's best
Yeah,
work.
yeah,
Um, to the people that say Good Kid, Mad City is above it, um, I could see why you say that. As far as telling a story, it is the best album I've ever heard. Um, that was able to tell a story like that in such a perfect order. You know,
mhm.
I applaud Kendrick for putting that together. You know, um, Good Kid, Mad City is right behind it. Um, I'm not as big of a fan of Untitled Unmastered as a lot of other people are. You know, I like some tracks like Untitled '03 and '08 in particular are my two favorites, but other than that, nothing really grabs me from that
Oh,
album. So that one might be last.
I forgot. My bad. I forgot. What about Truly Yours?
Okay,
I
see,
forgot to list those.
Truly Yours is kind of odd to do because quite a few songs that were used there, some of them were used on Friday Night
Mhm.
Lights, if I'm correct, and some of them were used on the Sideline Story.
Uh,
So it's kind of hard to really rank that.
no. I think you mean some of the songs off of the warm up were put on Sideline Story. Truly
Yeah.
Yours
That's
are
what I meant.
throwaway, like not throwaway songs that didn't make it to the album, like Born Sinner.
Yeah. Um, How High should have made it.
yeah.
How High is my jump?
Cold.
Like yeah, Cold Summer is another one. Yeah.
Let me see. Track list. Like he had Cold Summer on there. He had Stay, that he made back in '09. I think that wasn't like something like the warm up or something. I don't know. I didn't even remember hearing it on there, but I think it was. I feel like it was. Can I holler at you? I love that one. I just it just came to mind when you brought up Untitled Unmastered because I remember Truly Yours. So kind of like that, but not really. It just happened to be like a side project that was just there.
Hmm. I remember. I remember because I got into Cole before I got into anybody in
Mm-hmm.
rap aside from Tupac,
Yeah.
you know. And I remember when Sideline Story came out, you
Yeah.
know, um, and Workout was all over the radio,
Mm.
you know. And
Yeah.
at the time, I thought this is one of the best rap albums I've ever heard. Now, mind you, at that point, I was a newbie
Mm.
in the rap game. I went back and listened to it a year later, and I just remember telling myself like, "Yo, what is this mainstream garbage, man?"
Man,
like, so it was just it made me realize this has disappointed me
bro.
very much so. And so what in you guys' lifetime, and I'm not limiting this to just rap, what are some albums that people hyped up for you to listen to that ended up being
After hours.
disappointments?
Ah,
um, After hours. I got a friend, Cam. He's the reason why, because I really chose not to listen to Cole. Because see, Sideline Story is an
yeah.
album that I listened to for the first time last year, right? The entirety of it last year, because I heard one song of it, which was Workout, and I chose to ignore the entire album. And the other songs like Dolly in the Dream and Lights Please, I heard before on his mixtapes, but I ignored the entire album because of Workout. It was like it was just, no, I couldn't do it. So that Cold World, Sideline Story, After Hours, Good Kid, Mad City, because everybody was like, listen to Money Trees.
Money Trees is great. You
I
don't, Prince, you don't like
no,
Money
I'm not saying
Trees?
it's bad. It just didn't. I like what I was getting, like it was like what I was the anticipation I was supposed to have was like through the roof. But when I listened to it, it was like, okay, I like it.
Man, this
I
is
like
mid.
I like Real, the song Real, and Shireen better. Um,
Yeah, I agree.
so
It's like, yeah, I surround myself with people who really good at giving music recommendations. Shout out to Prince. But yeah, when I finally let somebody just randomly recommend me something, like people was telling me Kirk was gonna be like the album that blew up the world. Uh,
Absolutely not. They lied to you.
and I'm like, this,
And I
I
like
want my
Kirk.
time back.
Kirk,
And I like
Yeah, it's
Kirk.
not
maybe right
terrible. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
now. My problem with Kirk is the let me look at the track list. It's mainly the features. All right, it's mainly the
Yeah.
features brought it down.
Bop was good.
Yes,
yeah.
Bop was
Yeah.
I didn't mind the Nicki Minaj song that he had.
Bop was good. Intro was better to me.
Yeah. Intro was better.
But like
Yeah,
song like he had the Off the Rip was okay. Pop Star didn't like. iPhone not really. He had a song with Nicki Minaj. It didn't hit. He had a song. What was it?
it
The one
wasn't
with
that bad to
was
me.
it the one with Osiris or whatever his name is? That song with no, it didn't. It wasn't hitting. Like no,
No, that wasn't that album, was
yes,
it?
it was. That was the one he was on with Chance.
With
Yeah.
Osiris?
Uh,
Mm.
Oh yeah,
it just
gospel.
wasn't. I couldn't do it.
Nah.
The only songs I listen to from that album now is Intro and Bop. That's it. Off the
Yeah,
rip, I listen
that's
to
Yeah.
fair.
What's from what's his name? Tusi.
Yeah. So for me, the list, I mean, my God, um, it goes on and on and on. First and foremost, you guys may not know it, but I was once a big Chance the Rapper fan.
Mm-hmm.
How the times have changed.
Oh God.
Everything that came
The
before
big
the Big Day was good, great, amazing. Big Day
it
came out.
was great.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Listen, the big day came out. When I tell you I didn't get past track 5, I was so disappointed with
Jeez.
just everything I was hearing. And then the features were not helping. The production was sorry. Like it did not hit.
It just fell.
I didn't understand it. I like we waited all this time for you to drop an album, only for you to drop this crap. And you know what I thought? This got everything to do with Kanye.
Why? Why Kanye though?
This
Like I know he's
because
supposed to make that
Kanye,
collab album with him.
I don't want it. I don't want it now. No. Mm-mm. I'm good. No.
I mean, hey, he loves his wife.
No. That's the problem. He loves her too
That's
much.
the proof. He
Like,
said
gee,
once the wife came in, it just
Oh,
changed.
I mean, I feel like Chance could come back, but the big day he
no.
could have tossed that away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Could have tossed
yeah.
And
Chance
then
coming back is gonna take a lot because people already done they done drag Chance through the shredder.
for me, another one, people swore up and down that um people have swore up and down to me that Thriller is Michael Jackson's best work.
No,
Nah,
no.
Not by a long shot.
nah.
Not by a long shot.
What do you think?
I've tried to convince off the wall 1,000 times over, off the wall.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me
Like
look at the track list. Yeah.
like off the wall just had. I mean, yes, Thriller had more hits. Almost every song on Thriller was a hit.
Right.
Um, but off the
Don't
wall,
stop till you get enough. Rock. Oh yeah.
that's
Oh wow.
and then on top of that, you
That's
got
a easy.
Help It, which I think is Michael's best song. You know,
Now,
But these is the songs he was bopping to on the Michael Jackson Experience.
for me specifically,
yeah,
my favorite, what I think is his best work is "Dangerous."
I can't disagree with that.
Yeah.
I can't disagree.
I feel like that was his best album to me. That's the like off the wall. I love it. I still listen to Off the Wall. Thriller, not as much. I listen to The Lady in My Life, but Beat It, Billie Jean, and the song Thriller, it it was played so much to the point where I can't play it and enjoy it as much as I would have prior to.
Yeah, I could see that because like remember the time is like my favorite MJ song, but like people done played it so much. I'm like, how many times this man
But
gonna
see, that's
dance
the
in that
thing.
gold suit?
That's the thing. I don't get tired of hearing "Remember the Time"
Nope.
though. I
Yeah,
don't
I
get
don't.
tired of hearing it. Billie
But it's just like
Jean,
maybe I need to
absolutely.
expand.
And but like, let's see what else he got here. He got bad. Now a bad album isn't bad, but the bad song I cannot rock with.
Oh
Why? Because
yeah,
the first line is "Yo, butt is mine," and bro, that's not.
Um,
You're not gonna tell me that. Like imagine you go into another man and you be like, "Hey, yo, butt is mine."
fun
I
fact
imagine
here,
about to get into a fight and he say you.
I can't. I couldn't.
fun fact here,
Go.
and you guys can look up the interview that Prince did with Chris Rock about this. But the Wesley Snipes character in the Bad video, that was supposed to have been
Right,
Prince.
I heard about that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and so Prince was looking at the lyrics and everything, and he said, "Now the first line in the song is your butt is mine, right?" And Prince was like, "Now who's gonna sing that to who? Because you sure ain't singing that to me, and I sure
Like,
ain't singing
hold
it to
up,
you."
this
So
sus.
right, so Prince,
The myth, the legend.
the man who was sort of personified as sus in a way, saying, "Okay, this kind of sus, don't you think?" Like he is saying that, you know. But
It's
yeah,
like when your friend have a bad idea, you're like, I don't know, you should do this. What you mean? It's a great idea.
But we got the albums
Nah,
"Dangerous," "Thriller," "Off the Wall," "History," "Bad," "Escape," and "Invincible." I'm not gonna include his
Invinci-
younger albums.
Invincible does not get enough love.
No, not at
yeah.
all. "You Rock My World," "Threaten," "Heaven Can Wait," "Unbreakable."
Yeah,
I'll,
Unbreakable is my shit.
man,
Like,
What's
see,
what's your favorite like Michael Jackson song that like when you like hear it, it's like takes you
"Liberian
back?
Girl."
Like what is like
I can't help it.
For me, it's Heal the World. Not
Really,
Heal the World.
really.
Wait, not Heal the World. What's the name of that song?
I was gonna say out of all of the Michael Jackson
Not
songs,
Heal
you
the. No, it's not Heal the. That I'm thinking. I say Heal the World because whenever I would listen to it, I would listen to
You
that
thinking
song
about maybe
next.
will you? No, you was listening to the Dangerous album. I know that. No, because that's on there.
Not Heal the World.
Let me go to the track list real quick.
No, it's like where it's like I don't know if I could sing this on YouTube, but it's like let me type this out. I ain't taking no chances.
But Librarian Girl,
Earth Song. That's what it is. Earth Song.
like
That used to be my
Librarian
jam.
Girl is my favorite Michael Jackson song. Even though it's like not the best. It's the best to me, but it's like real simple. I just
Yeah, it's like
I don't
Mhm.
know, like
it
the
reminds you of
instrumental you hear, like all of that, it's just like perfect to me.
For me, I can't help it, man. Just the
yeah.
production with Quincy, Michael's voice being so mellow, and then the fact that Stevie wrote the song, perfect match.
Yeah, it was
It
made
it
to be.
gets it gets no better than that for me. That to me is Michael's best work. It's his best song.
Yeah,
Like,
for me it was Earth Song because like whenever I would what's it called? Whenever I would play Michael Jackson Experience, that was always the hardest song. And like it's like
oh,
oh, so I heard it a lot. So like I just like came to appreciate just the feeling of just like the question like what about like life and just humanity
He
in
has one
general.
more album that gets ignored. I forgot the name
What?
of it, but I know it
blood
has
on the dance
Ghost on it.
floor.
Yeah, that one. That album gets
Oh
ignored.
yeah.
Ghost was my favorite song by him for the longest time.
Same.
I didn't like Ghosts. Like I saw the music video and I was scared. I'm like, I ain't listen to
Man,
that.
let me tell you something. MJ Experience, you ask anybody what the best song to play
Ghost,
was,
Yeah.
hands down. Man, like
dog. I played it all the time, all the time.
That's how I got
all
into
the
like the
time.
older Michael Jackson songs.
But that album doesn't get that. That album is like forgotten with most people.
Yeah.
Yeah, because to me, and while it is still a good album, it's his weakest.
Yeah.
It's his
Yeah.
weakest. If unless you want to count Michael, which came out after his
Well,
death.
I don't know. I don't really want to say that he like that was. I wouldn't include it. Like and his albums in total, I
Yeah.
would, but it wasn't really him. That's why I like when you talk about X, or Juice
Yeah,
WRLD, or Tupac. I
like the
don't include everybody that
posthumous
came after the
albums.
7 Day Theory.
I don't
Yeah, so how I would rank his discography. Oh, so Off the Wall,
Hmm.
Thriller, Dangerous, Invincible, Bad, Escape, Blood on the Dance Floor. Unless are we counting history?
I would because that's I like because when I was younger, I would scream the song "Scream," so that's the reason why I like that album. And I would scream the
Yeah,
song
Scream is
"Scream,"
dope.
and it has another song on there. It's "Tabloid Junkie," "Money," "Stranger in Moscow," "Scream." I like those. This time around, one of my favorite Michael Jackson songs currently. But it
Doesn't
has
that have come together?
yeah, but it has a lot of songs that came from other albums, like "Want to Be Starting
Yeah,
Something," "Remember the Time," "Beat It." So I don't know if it's a compilation album or if it's like the second half of it is new. I know the first half
yeah,
compilation, second half is just some songs.
yeah. So basically, with that album, he kind of did what Stevie did with the Musicarium
Yeah,
album. Because while that had some of his older stuff, that also had "Do I Do," "That Girl," um, "Send Your Love," all of
you're
that,
naming all
and I
like the
love
top
that.
songs. You're naming a few of
Yeah,
my top songs.
yeah. Oh man, that
Let me
album
see.
was goaded.
Mm.
Oh,
there's never gonna be artists like that, like ever again.
never
So
again.
before we move
Never.
forward, with Michael Jackson's albums, "Dangerous" tops, "Off the Wall" second, "Invincible" third, "Thriller," "Bad," "Escape," Michael.
No, I've listened to a lot of the Michael Jackson song. Like I've listened to almost all, of them, but I've never like taken the chance or taken the time, just like the way I grew up. Like I didn't grow up knowing about music like that. Like the first like time like I really like got into music, it was like from YouTubers. Like I never like really like listened to a professional artist. Not saying that, not dissing YouTube artists, but I never listened to or like understood like the concept of the album till I was in high
You need to
school.
listen to songs in the key of life.
Man, yeah, listen, don't get me started. You know I'm a Stevie stan,
Bro, you
man.
need
Look, look, look.
listen to songs in the key of life. Inner Visions. I like that. That's the song on there called
Yeah,
Visions. I like that album. Hotter in July. And if you wanted to, you could go to the Music Aquarium, but that'd be up to you.
yeah,
Um, the
yeah.
song album I go to last is A Time to Love. But the songs in the key of life, listen to that. Like no song on there is bad. No, it's like this,
It's
Greatest
only
album of all
hits.
time.
bro.
Fire.
I can't even argue with that. Like, but, bro.
Greatest album of all time.
Um, let me see what you got. Another Star, If It's Magic, as those three songs. Those are Summer Soft, Pastime Paradise. Man, that's just
It's just interesting seeing how like each generation experiences artists that will never ever be replicated ever again. No matter how hard you try, you can never redo artists. Like some of these people are just classics. Like you are never gonna get another Michael Jackson.
nobody from before the 2000s. We can't replicate them. Everybody else after or after 2010s, maybe if you want to go that far, you
I'd
can.
say after
Yeah,
2010s, I wouldn't say it's like just wow.
Gucci Man versus Jeezy. Have we seen it?
I have not.
yeah, yeah. And Jeezy, Jeezy did win the battle.
I
He
don't
didn't
think
win the
Gucci
battle.
Mane can win much of
Here's the
anything.
thing
But
with me.
Gu-
Gucci Man is garbage. Always has been. Always will be.
Yeah,
oh, true.
listen, listen. As soon as Jeezy played "Go Crazy," it was done. It was done.
Yep.
Simple. Like he didn't even need to play Geeked Up. It was he had it.
Oh God. Yeah.
You know, Jeezy went. I mean, what am I trying to say? Gucci went the low route. Brought up the fact that one of Jeezy's friends got shot because Gucci killed him
Jesus
and
Christ.
everything. Was making jokes about it and everything. And Jeezy really didn't fight this man at the end. I was
Yeah.
surprised they actually ended up doing the song that they did together, which is like good for them, but nah. What? Okay, well then, what are some verses that y'all guys are expecting to see coming soon, or that y'all would like to see?
Um, damn, can't have that one.
I don't know.
Cause I know
Talking
that
rappers.
a while, just in general, cause I know a while back Timberland made an Instagram post and uh, he had put Anita Baker and Sade up
Oh
against each
God.
other, and I was like, I need that now.
Do they
Y'all
do
just trying to.
English? Do they do production battles?
um, they haven't yet, but I'm pretty sure a Swizz and Timberland production versus is gonna
I would
come.
want to hear Ye and Pharrell,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but let me say like
yeah,
Ye and Jay Z probably for a
Mm.
versus battle.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
that will break the internet.
Y'all
Like
just trying to.
Cole versus Ye. I would want.
Oh yeah.
Cole and Kendrick more so for me.
I. Yeah, that's what I would say
I don't
too.
know, but like, I don't know. Like I would want to hear it, but I already know who I'm coming in and like who I'm coming in rocking with.
Yeah, it's
Who
like
I'm
I'm already
leaving with.
biased.
I'm coming in with Cole,
L-
and I'm leaving with
He
Cole.
said, I
Listen,
know
when
who
it
But that's not
drove
to
me to
diss
the
Kendrick
spot. I
Lamar.
know who drives me back.
listen when it come to hits, Cole got Kendrick beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, though I hate workout.
Yeah,
But no, Kendrick is on one of his hits though, Forbidden Fruit.
yeah. So
And
that would probably be the one that they would do
then you
together
got High
at the
Power
end.
because Cole produced that.
Yeah, but it's still Kendrick's song.
Yeah,
Um, I would have loved to see Stevie and Michael go at it.
That would have been interesting.
that's what I was about to say, but I was like, it can't happen. That's like that was my first thought.
Yeah, I think Stevie would have came out with the victory though. Real talk.
I can't argue.
Uh,
Yeah.
if R. Kelly wasn't in jail, I would have loved to see him and Usher go at it.
Ah,
Think about Usher.
Robert Octavius
Think about
Kelly.
Usher. Think about Usher. I don't listen to him a lot. I just like
Yeah, I don't listen to him as much. Like I heard like a song like that he was on because he had collaborated with like Marshmello, who I listen to. So yeah, Usher is a good artist for what I've heard, but I don't listen to him that much.
Yeah.
I feel like R. Kelly would win that
Um, R. Kelly is beating
Yeah.
everybody except the aforementioned Stevie and
battle.
Michael,
Yeah.
hands down.
Then he started pissing on girls, and it just all went to hell.
I mean, that's still not gonna stop me from listening to his
Like
music.
I'm gonna still
Don't get it
step in
twisted.
the name of love.
Yeah,
Exactly. I'm still doing it to this day. That don't
like
matter.
the black community was angry for like a good month, and then somebody had a family reunion. They like,
Yep. All, all they had to do was play Happy People and we was back to the basics. Um
like even if like you
I'll
make
be
the
right back.
argument that like you shouldn't like listen to it or like listen to someone's art if they did something, it's like already been like generations who have been raised on this music. It's like some things you just can't. Like, I understand not glorifying it or like not bringing light to it as like the future continues on, but like you can tell me that Michael Jackson killed 3 kids and buried them outside of Never Neverland. I'm still gonna be hitting it to remember the time and whatever.
No, for
yeah,
what?
yeah, real talk. Um Bruno and the Weekend. I think that one would low
That's
key be
that
good.
that'd be good. I haven't listened to as much as The Weekend. I used to be a big fan of Bruno Mars. Like
Yeah,
Grenade, when I was young man, that was back when you was just like, man, maybe being a simp ain't that bad.
yeah, you know.
And
Um
then I grew up and I learned lessons. Like maybe Bruno Mars ain't the type of life I want to live.
yeah.
It's like I'd be
um
dang.
I would like to see, and I doubt that they would do this, but Wu Tang versus NWA.
Oh yeah. I don't know who I would have for that because I love both. But I think I like Wu Tang Clan a little better.
Yeah,
That's
I
just
used to like NWA a lot, but once the movie came out and
yeah.
everything, then that really killed it for me. And Wu Tang has their series on Hulu and everything, and that's great, but it's not as overbearing as the Straight Outta Compton movie was.
The Wu Tang Clan is just that's always gonna be like a cultural phenomenon. 'Cause they like really just like bridge the gap for like artists to like become more than just music. Cause like you got people who ain't never listened to Protect Your Neck, but they got a
Hmm.
Wu Tang shirt on.
Absolutely, I see it all the time.
It's
I got a
it's
few Wu
crazy.
Tang shirts.
It's crazy just seeing people like I've seen like and I be getting mad. I be getting tight. Like you see like somebody like wearing like a vintage like band shirt or like rap shirt. You like you don't listen to this.
Yeah,
Like I saw a girl wearing a Metallica shirt. I'm like, I know,
I
but
know
I
good and well. Like,
you do not like. Don't lie.
like you can't name me not one Metallica song. You don't know who James Hetfield is. You nah.
It
Uh,
be making me mad. I'm like, bruh, because it's like I can't stop you from wearing it. You got to write whoever you want to, but like, because like, what if somebody walk up to you like, oh, you like exert artists here too? Then they look at you real blank, like, oh, I just like the shirt. Well, then I got every right to. I ain't gonna say what I was gonna say. Matter of fact,
yeah,
fuck, I got a right to spit on you, because it's
yeah.
disrespect. It's
Um,
no one would stand for it if someone was wearing a Michael Jackson song couldn't name a I mean Michael Jackson shirt. They couldn't name a Michael Jackson song. Oh hell with raise.
yeah. Um, shoot, Tupac and Biggie would have been interesting had
Yeah,
they lived. Yeah. Um, shoot, Outcast and A Tribe Called Quest.
yeah, that'd be interesting as well. It's interesting just thinking about like because like you don't really think about all of these like older groups until it's time to compare them.
Yeah, you know. Um, yeah, but it's like it's quite a few, man. Like that I just ever since they've started doing these, I've been constantly in all three of their pages. I've been on
Yeah,
Swizz's page, I've been on Timberland's page, and I've just been on the Versus page, just commenting all of these battles that I would want to see, just hoping that they would see them, you know. So I just,
who do
man,
you think is like the most like toxic like black community like not black community like black culture commentator like people like you think about like Flex and Charlemagne. But like academics been taking it from me because like if you go to like his Instagram page, he be on demon time like 99%. I'm like, oh god,
most toxic, Wendy Williams.
yeah.
Wendy Williams has been starting stuff and stirring controversy for decades at this point. You know,
A lot of the
Flex,
old talk show hosts is just
yeah,
wrapped up in some real suspects.
yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, Flex was dead wrong for talking about Tupac like he did and
Yeah,
everything.
Charlemagne the God is just a menace.
Charlemagne is a menace, but he's good at what he does.
He's good at what he does, but he is a menace to society.
Like
Like
he's
you
the
should have whole compilations about of people taking clips of the wild things you've done.
yeah, like he's the only one that kind of sort of gets a pass for me. You know, academics never mattered. Like just straight up, he never mattered to me.
I feel
Like
like back, but like he does his job though. Like he's like good at like stirring the pot and like getting a lot of traction. I feel like Joe Budden, like he ain't toxic. Like he just there.
yeah, I mean Joe Budden keeps it real, real talk. He does. Uh,
Yeah,
I don't necessarily care for everything that he says, particularly like him and Charlemagne have kind of like struck a nerve when they've both talked about Logic from time to time and kind of like really, really disrespected him, you know,
I wouldn't
because
say Logic deserves it,
he doesn't.
but I will say he might have brought it upon himself.
Well, I mean, yeah, yeah, at times maybe, you know.
Because Logic has had his ups and they've been high. He's also had his downs and they've been low.
Yeah, that's true.
What are like the other throwaway topics I had that we didn't hit? Uh, let's see. It's like, what do you think about that Black Love like movement where it was just people like people that I knew and was like seeing like they were like if a black man doesn't date a black woman or if a black woman doesn't date a black man, then they're basically saying that black people shouldn't be loved at all. And I'm like, wow, that sounds kind of Jim Crowy to me.
Yeah, I don't agree with that whatsoever.
I'm like,
I
that just
feel,
sounds like reverse Jim Crow.
if you're gonna date somebody, date who you want. You know, I just feel this culture, this generation, man, it's so judgmental. We're so judgmental for no reason.
I feel like it gets to a point where it's like a lot of like especially like the younger generation can be like they're guilty of all the things they accuse everybody else of being because you can't call somebody racist and then you say and like this was like my cousin where I was like, yeah, I've dated outside my race before, and she said, well, that's basically just saying that like you don't think black women have a right to be loved. And I looked at her for a minute, I'm like, what? like where's the I don't get the connect there, like what do you mean? Like this is
Man,
coming from someone that's like I've dated like all different type of girls, or I've talked. I wouldn't say dated. I had my whole phase. I've moved on. I'm a better person now. I'm a leader.
All right, my bad. I'm
mhm.
back. I had to go help my girlfriend. Sorry.
Your
I can't
girlfriend.
feel my toes either. Oh, oh, I went outside and slides.
uh,
I shouldn't have did that.
yeah, it is snowing, ain't it? But yeah, we had just said like, what? How do you feel about the black love phenomenon? Where like there were like people going around talking about how if a black man doesn't date a black woman, and if a black woman doesn't date a black man, then it's basically saying how black people don't deserve to like have relationships and be
What?
loved.
Wait, say it again. My bad. I got caught at the end. My grandma was talking to me. I got caught at the end. I heard something about black love, and we don't deserve it. What you mean?
Basically, if you don't date inside your race, then you're saying that black people don't deserve to be loved,
What?
or you're a traitor.
Like Michael B. Jordan?
My sister called me a traitor. I'm like,
I
what?
mean, okay. I mean, that seems stupid. That seems stupid. Like, what if we just like, what if we just
Like I
like,
was talking to her,
what if
like
I
that
just
sounds
happen to
kind of like
meet,
Jim
what if I just
Crow.
happen to meet a white or Asian or Puerto Rican, like whatever the case is. What if I just happen to meet a different type of female who just touches my soul, and I'm just like, I want them.
But she ain't
Like,
black, man. I
but that's
don't
not
know.
what you're thinking. You're not thinking about the color of her skin when you with them.
Yeah, it's like I ain't because like I'm dating a black girl, but like I don't think about the color of her skin. I'm like, man, has a great
To me, I'm just
personality.
dating a girl.
Yeah, I think that's like one of the bigger problems. Like we need to stop with all these labels, man. It's like racism will end once race has no meaning. So we need like how like the great Morgan Freeman once said that racism will end when I stop looking at you as a white man and you stop looking at me as a black man and we both look at each other just as men.
Hmm. Hmm.
That was wild. That was like I just looked for a while. Like, are you for real? I thought you was like joking and you was gonna tell me sight. Oh, that's funny. What other have you ever personally experienced racism before?
No, I mean, I've had a time where I've walked past somebody's car and I heard it lock, but
That's not
besides
racism because I do
besides
that.
that, no, I've never actually dealt with
I'm
any
just
type of racist
untrustworthy.
person. I've never presented myself to be thought of like, "Oh, he's gonna hurt me or he's gonna do like, try to steal from me." I'm just like everybody else. So
Yeah.
I've never dealt with any type of racist situations, or at least I don't think I have. Like maybe I did and I wasn't aware of it. I don't know. But as far as like my knowledge goes, no, I've never.
Ye- Yeah, I haven't either, really, to be honest. You know,
That's not saying racism doesn't exist, people.
And
But
like,
Mhm.
yeah, but like my experiences with like possible racism has come from like me being outwardly conservative as a black person. Like
okay,
A lot of people call Republicans racist, but the only time I've been called a racial slur, it was by someone who was
I have a
left.
thought, or I have an idea. I have this question now. Did I just lose my question? All right, so racism, okay, racial profiling. Now, taking us back to cast days, you seen the specifically males, right? The males that we were around. Now,
Yeah.
look at them. Look at look at yourself as an individual. Look at us three.
Hmm.
Now look at them. Now, would you be surprised if any of them, not necessarily your friends, but maybe I don't know, any of them were virtually profiled? Like I've seen a lot. I'm not saying like it's right or anything, but I've seen a few of them like walking around, got your cheeks out, don't know why. Yeah, you keep walking around with a hood on your head, don't know why. I mean, have I done it before? Yes, I'm a victim of the hoodie, but
I'm a
I
victim.
mean, I have.
like I'm not.
I've done it too.
Like I was like, man,
I
so like
don't,
maybe
not
not the hood,
really.
but like the pants, right? Like why are we sagging? Why are we acting like we outside? Why we loud? Why we like acting like we ain't got no sense? All right. So in situations like that, when you have people like that outside of school, are you really surprised when some racial profiling goes on?
I think everybody does it though.
Every,
I don't think like that's like. I think that's
I'm not concerned
just.
about everybody. I'm talking about the black people in black males specifically.
Uh,
That's why I said like
well,
people like
no,
Cass.
I'm not surprised because like I done talked to people of like all different backgrounds, and I be seeing some of them. And they just be like living life, not giving a dang. I'm like, you know what? This is kind of the issue because you out here making it rough for all of us. It's always that select few bad apples, you know.
I'm not saying like
Yeah.
carry yourself a specific way for a specific type of people. Like be you,
Yeah.
do you. But like I have a strong hate against the sagging thing. Um,
Speaking of racism, let's talk about Nate Robinson for a moment.
Man, I
'Cause
think I think that shows you that black people racist against themselves because I ain't never seen somebody get disowned so fast.
I,
go ahead, go ahead.
I ain't never seen a white man put a ass whooping on a black man like Jake Paul did to Nate Robinson. Oh Lord, he Jake
what
Paul
what happened?
put the pause on this, bro. Like like it was so bad out there. I thought it was Rocky Four, and Drago was knocking out Apollo Creed again.
Uh,
That's basically what happened.
Like
Man, they had the memes ready in minutes.
if he dies, he
mi-
dies. Like come on now.
It was an hour and all the memes was prepared. I'm like, how? And
Like,
like the thing is, like, I'm not even like that mad. The thing that makes me like, you know what? If people make fun of you, I ain't really mad is he went on Twitter. He's like, well, I'm about to rock the world. Or like he's about to change the world or something right before he went into the match. I'm like, you know what? That's I think that's an example of hubris. He was a little too
mhm.
prideful coming in and you got them few hits in like the first round. They wasn't really doing no
I mean,
damage. And then he just came in.
props to Jake Paul.
Yeah, let's get it straight.
Props to Paul.
Nate called Jake out,
Yeah.
so Jake was on it. You know, I salute
He
him.
pulled through.
You know, but as for that brother, my brother Nate Robinson, man,
You need to just take a time out, you
whew,
know.
he should have just stuck to basketball.
Now speaking of boxing,
Because people was real quick to be like, man, he ain't even a boxer. Like, don't defend him. He started
Jake
it.
Paul is a YouTuber. Stop it.
speaking of boxing, did y'all see the Mike Tyson and Roy, right? Roy Jones?
Oh, the other half of that massacre. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Grandpa, man.
Yeah.
I
So
didn't get a chance to
I
see it. What happened?
I was impressed with both sides. Both Roy and Mike looked great for their ages. It went to a draw.
We all
Um,
Is that what you think it was, or that's like I mean that's what everybody said it was. What do you like? What do
that's the
y'all think it
result.
was? Who?
Oh, Floyd went easily. Like Roy just clenching, like he was just like, nah.
I hmm, as far as who's more skilled, I would have to give it to Roy. Roy is a lot more skilled, a lot faster, but
Yeah,
Mike is more of the better boxer.
he just got the power, and it
Yeah,
just it's a truck.
yeah.
You
Um,
can't stop a truck with an SUV.
but for the match to end in a draw, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. They both gave a lot each other a lot of respect afterwards, so that was good to see.
Yeah, yeah,
That was
You know,
funny. And like there was like an interview right before for like they was like talking to Roy and Tyson. They was like Roy, are you afraid that you might get injured in this match? And they didn't ask no questions to Tyson. He's like, what about me? What if I get hurt? He only been retired for 3 years. I've been retired for like he said like 10 or like I forget how
15.
many he been
15,
retired.
15,
15. Yeah, that's what he said. Like, ain't nobody
15.
worried about me getting hurt.
But they called him Iron Mike Tyson.
Like brother was and still is chiseled at over 50 years of age. Like that makes no sense to me.
He's just born an apex predator.
Yeah.
Now I heard that Drake was talking about because he won against Nate, he wants to go against Conor McGregor now.
I don't know about all that.
Okay.
I think he's
Okay.
biting off a bit more than he can chew.
Yeah. Going against Jake is really like going against Floyd, if we being honest.
You
I
think?
don't think I don't think he wanna I don't think he wanna do that. Like, cause
Yeah,
while Connor might not necessarily be
because
a
Connor took a break
boxer,
for a little while.
Connor may not necessarily be a boxer, but he is still a fighter now. He's
Yeah,
still a
he is.
professional fighter. So Jay Paul can try that if you want to, but
Imagine he's like, I'll fight you UFC. Oh God,
For
could
you
you
to be the type of
imagine?
person to go into UFC, you gotta just really be like, I'm throwing my
You just
life
got to
away.
be an
It's over.
like, uh, you just built
Like think
good.
about it. You about
Like,
to
could
go in
you
here and
imagine
get
where
beat
Tyson's
with
like, yo,
bare
I'll
hands.
do a UFC match with McGregor?
You
yeah,
getting beat with bare hands. You okay with it? Like you walk out and say, at
They
least I
just,
got
they
paid.
just flying, they flying across the arena. They throwing kicks, punches. They are just a different type of people.
throwing kicks, punches, arm
Everything
bars.
goes.
Be doing submissions. I'm like, oh nah.
Speaking of fighting,
Be
who
ready.
used to watch wrestling? I know y'all did.
I did. My brother did, and I had
I
to watch it, but I ain't
I
never watched.
still do technically.
I like the UFC stuff like that.
I used to.
Yeah,
Go ahead. My bad.
I still do technically, you know. But after 2 Sundays ago at this point, um, yeah, I'm gonna stop watching
What happened?
kind of
What
permanently.
happened?
Uh, Undertaker officially retired.
Oh yeah, I thought
Oh
you.
yeah, he
Okay, yeah,
did.
yeah. I would too. He was.
Yeah, and with that, my childhood is officially dead at this point. No pun intended, because he's, a dead man, right? But yeah, if y'all didn't know, which y'all really didn't, but he's my favorite wrestler ever, point blank. And
Rey Mysterio used to be my favorite.
Undertaker was my favorite
everybody,
too.
yeah,
Undertaker and Kane. I like Kane when he had the fire, but
Oh yeah,
Undertaker, yeah, like
yeah,
his inch, like when he like came in. Whenever I play any type of wrestling game, I'm picking Undertaker just to come in with all the smoke. Like can't like bro.
yeah. Yeah. You know, I broke into actually watching it around like 2007, 2008, that era.
Hmm.
Back when. You had like Cena,
I was I was
Yeah,
'09.
Batista, yeah, around that era. Like Jeff Hardy was big,
Mhm.
Triple H was big.
Shawn
Yeah,
Michaels was also a favorite of mine.
oh
Shawn
yeah,
Michaels is dope, dope. He's top five for me.
I like Sheamus. He was cool as well.
Nigga
Don't
said
don't disrespect.
Sheamus.
Listen,
I ain't
listen,
disrespecting you, but like
listen.
Batista, Shawn Michaels, um, I want
The-
to say Edge, but then I don't want to say Edge. I didn't really care for John Cena because I don't know. I just saw everybody flocking to him, so I just saw everybody else.
yeah.
See for me, I didn't watch Raw. I was a SmackDown guy.
Hmm.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, that's what I grew up watching. So on SmackDown, all you saw was Undertaker and Jeff Hardy and Edge and Batista and Triple H from time to time. I knew of Shawn Michaels, but that's because of like the older stuff.
Yeah,
Same way I knew about Bret Hart and Stone
Oh
Cold and The
yeah.
Rock.
yeah.
You know,
I stopped
That's
watching it
crazy.
once
Like,
I was told it was fake.
yeah.
Like I was like, "Oh, for real?
Like
Oh
getting
God."
out.
Yeah, nah, we done.
I
listen,
mean,
listen,
I mean,
listen,
it makes sense. Like, how
listen.
many times can you get thrown outside the ring or into a table or get hit with a chair? They're like, "Oh, he good. He good."
It's a different. Okay, here's the thing. It's a difference between fake and script, right?
Yeah,
You know, wrestling is nowhere near fake. Let's get that mentality out of our heads. You know, real talk. People have died from being in the ring,
yeah.
both from being in actual matches with and dealing with like concussions and stuff like that, chair shots to the head, all of that. You know,
I don't know how
it,
you sign up to get hit with a chair. I don't know how you just like you look at the contract like I'm fine with this.
pe- people get hit in the head with chairs, they get put through tables, they get fall off ladders, they get thrown off cages. Like this stuff, you can't fake any of that.
Yeah,
You can't fake any of that whatsoever. You know.
he just be like, wow,
So the
wow.
notion, so the notion that wrestling is fake, I always was like, get out of here, son. Nah.
Like it's not fake, as in it's
Yeah.
like
The matches are
they're throwing punches.
Now,
yeah,
for me,
the matches are just pre-planned, you
for
know.
me,
Yeah,
I wasn't someone who really watched the shows. I was more so the person that bought the games. That's how I was introduced. That's why I said '09 because that was the game that I got. I was introduced to it
yeah,
through the games. The shows,
Yeah.
I would watch them sometimes, but it was never because like I woke up like, yeah, I wanted to see this. No, it was because somebody else I knew was watching it. So I came into it
Yeah.
through the games, and that's how I got
Yeah.
into like watching it, and then I just stopped watching it entirely. So when I was told it was fake, I didn't question it. It was like, okay, that's what it is.
Yeah, pretty much the same for me. So like the first ever game that I had was SmackDown versus Raw 2008. And that I had that originally on the PS2.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like and that game a lot of people hate that one in particular for many reasons. And I understand that. But for me, it holds a special place. And I love it. Um, Eventually, I got it on the 360, and I got a bunch of other ones too. Like I damn near got everyone in the series.
Jesus Christ.
That's how heavy I was into this. Okay, I bought every DVD set that they had put out with all of the greatest matches and stuff like that. I was heavy into it.
Okay, okay, I looked it up. I looked it up. Now the one I had '09, but the one I started with was '08. '08.
Yeah, yeah. '08 was a good one to me, at least.
I didn't ever play '06 though. I never played any of them that came after 10 except like 17 with my little brother, but I never played any of them.
Yeah, so all of the 2K games I've had all of them except for 16.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Like that's literally the only thing I truly like keep up with is the games, you know. But 2K20 was not good. Don't waste your time on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Don't waste your time on it at all.
Everything that had 2020 on it just caught L.
Like when I tell y'all I bought DLC for this game, thinking that it was going to be just this the best, and then it wasn't.
You said all the lies, the pain.
That's why I moved
I
to.
spent
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I spent $60 on the digital copy
Dang.
plus 15 extra bucks
You
for
can't
the
even
DLC.
destroy the disc.
That's $75 on one game. And it's a game that's crap. How do you think that makes me feel,
Dog,
guys?
that's
Hmm?
exactly why I don't play any of the like 2K, like basketball, wrestling, Madden.
Yeah,
I don't touch any of those. Never, never. Like I haven't done that in
it's
years.
just a flop waiting to happen.
Yeah. Like NBA Playgrounds is the only saving grace because that's like NBA Jam in a way,
Yeah,
you know.
That's why like
But
uh,
yeah,
all of the like games I play, all the games I be playing on like the YouTube and stuff. That's just strict like only like single player probably. It won't be no sports nothing like that. Spider Man, that's
yeah.
me. Darksiders, that's me. WWE, no. Madden, I might play Madden. I like football. I might play Madden.
they need to remaster some of the Maddens.
Yeah.
Like Madden '04. They need to like really consider that.
What's the first 2K NBA like the NBA games that you played?
I started off with the GOAT, 2K11.
Let me see. I know this. I know the cover of the one I played. I don't remember what it looked like though.
Like 2K11 is probably the best and most iconic one.
2K7 is my first one.
Oh wow.
Didn't that have like Shaq on the cover?
Yeah, yeah. And the reason why I played is because my auntie's husband had it, and he had a
I ain't played
PS2.
2K. I don't consider it a real video game.
He had a
But
PS2, and I played it, and that was my first 2K game that I've ever played.
all right, guys. I think it's a good time to wrap it up here. I think we had a really
We have
good
like 2
conversation. I think
hours.
we did. Yeah, I didn't expect it to go that long. But
Yeah.
yeah, want to tell everyone thank you guys for watching the show. Hope you guys enjoy. Hope you see us next time. I think next time we're either gonna do either like a war on masculinity or a war on femininity. That depends on which guest we get. Uh, but yeah, I think a good time to tell you. So for our outros, like if you just want to like if you're currently like doing a project or anything you want people to like pay attention to, you can talk about that. If you want to link your social media, anything like that, just let people know if you want them to continue to follow you on your journey, where they can reach you at.
Follow me on Instagram if you would like. At D underscore rec WRECK .16. Um, yeah, that's it.
You can follow
You,
follow
you
me on
guys,
YouTube at Prince Kimani. Follow me on Instagram at Baghead Acrylics, gaming, music, any of that. My personal Instagram is a very difficult name. I'm not gonna like go through that, but yeah.
you guys can follow me at Our American Podcast, not Our American. Every time, you can follow me on Instagram at Our American Promises, and you can follow us on the American, not the American Problem, but the Rebranding American Culture YouTube channel. That's where these places are going to go. I'm going to link everybody's stuff in the description. Want to thank you guys so much for watching. This was episode 2. We out of here.